Hey,
Hello.
what's up?
Happy Sunday.
I love that intro you made because of all the cats.
Yeah, there's a lot of cats in there. And
Yeah,
the best cat is featured in that intro.
yeah, I know. She's bad. Um, Man, I'm having a week.
Yeah, you're having a hard time, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I've been out of state a lot because one of my relatives is in the hospital, and the Lindsay Clancy case took the wind out of my sails emotionally so much that I couldn't do this on Wednesday. I
Yeah.
needed like a break.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a heavy case.
Oh my gosh, it's the worst. I
Yeah.
mean, not what she did is the worst because, I don't think she was responsible for her actions, but just emotionally, it was hearing her crying so loud that kind of set me over the edge.
Yeah.
Just sobbing. It was very real.
Yeah.
Um, I want to do things a little differently today. Whereas since I've been out of state, I know that you're going to cover one of these things
Yep.
that I normally would. And I want to do the fun videos last.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I like
Do you
that.
want to do you want to do yours first, or do you want me to do my little updates first?
I can do mine.
Okay.
So do you remember Eugene Horsch?
Oh yeah, we did a little segment about him when the news was breaking.
Yeah, Eugene Horsch out of Philadelphia. He is back in the news.
Yeah.
Um, there were graphic images found at his home that they believe depict the two missing women as deceased.
Oh.
So, yeah, the Philadelphia Police Inspector Ray Evers said investigators collected a massive amount of evidence during a nearly 100 search warrants executed on Horse's Chew Avenue property. In addition to the images, they found guns, gun parts, a marijuana grow lab, fake FBI badge, a Horse's picture on it. Um, and they even found 3 urns with remains in them, which is really creepy.
Those could be
Um,
relatives.
they could be, but compared with the other evidence here, they're saying that they found approximately 600,000 images and 70,000 videos from hard drives found in the evidence, and that's where they believe, or that's where they found the images they believe are Gabriela Armorando and Maribel Freses or Freeses. I'm not sure how to pronounce her last name. But Freeses was last seen in 2018, and Miranda was last seen in 2012, and their bodies have not yet been recovered.
Didn't one of them have like her parents or one of her relatives or sister or something in like speaking out in the media?
Yeah, both of them have been speaking out in the media. I'm looking now. There's a good article from Fox 29 in Philadelphia. It's a lot of information about it. The families have been notified of these findings, but they haven't said anything official yet.
Okay.
And then there's a video from Fox 29 that we can watch real quick. It's
Yeah.
a attorney, former officer on forensic investigation. So let me.
Sorry.
It's okay. Let me share my screen. If I can
Let's
figure out
see.
how to do this. Here we go. Oh, hold on. I did that wrong. Let me get rid of it. I didn't share the audio.
Oops.
Oops, I didn't share the audio. Okay. Oh, you see it?
Yep.
Okay.
I want to introduce you guys. Some of you already know him very, very well. Talking to attorney Shaka Johnson. Shaka, first of all, thank you for making time for us here on Philadelphia Live. We appreciate your insight.
You're most welcome. Thank you for having me.
So I know that you have been keeping up with this case as well. It's one of those things that's kind of tickling all of our brains because every detail that we learn, I keep saying, it feels like a horror novel or a movie. So
It does.
Today, we had this press conference where now they reveal these images, and I know you've worked in forensics before. So I guess my first question for you is, with this kind of information, these pictures, would this be considered a breakthrough in the case? What more could they try to look for to pin this on someone like Eugene Horsch?
Well, actually, it sounds like more than a breakthrough. It sounds like the case has taken a hard left.
Wow.
This case originally began with drugs and guns and illegal weapons and fake IDs and perpetrating imagery of federal agents. And it began one way. And then at some point during the course of the investigation, it's turned into a missing persons / homicide investigation. I think it was Commissioner Evers who indicated during the press conference this is something like an issue of first impression for the Philadelphia Police Department, even with their learned homicide detectives. This is something out of a movie, it seems. You have an investigation that starts with one thing, and after they keep peeling back the layers and peeling back the layers, and then now you have a gentleman who lives in a house, and there's video that the police seem to think was taken in that house with what medical examiners and forensic pathologists are saying are dead bodies in those videos, or are likely dead bodies in those videos. And so this has taken a hard left, and I applaud the police department for reaching out to their federal partners, realizing that this is a very tall task, and they're going to have to do a collaborative effort with some of their law enforcement brothers and sister agencies.
So when you worked in forensics, you'd get out to a scene like this one. They got out to the home, and I think the first thing they did was dig up the yard. If you could put yourself in their shoes, what kind of stuff would you be looking for? And what would help you in your investigation?
Well, you have to think about what they're doing now, right? They're looking in the plumbing. That is, you have to, if a body was at this particular property at 417 True Avenue, what we know is it had to be disposed of in some form or fashion. It's a little too easy to see cremains sitting in urns and say, well, maybe those are the people we're looking for. That's a little bit easy. And so I heard Commissioner Evers say that they're looking in the plumbing. They're checking the plumbing traps. There is a questionable liquid.
Can you pause it?
Corrosive material that they're having tested. That
wasn't there like it's weird they're looking in the plumbing, but wasn't there a British serial killer that got caught because he kept trying to put the people in the plumbing?
I don't know anything about that. I'm not aware, but that, I mean, like, you would think if he's trying to like wash stuff down the drain or flush stuff down the toilet, then, you know, it would end up in like a trap somewhere.
Well, it says when you mentioned there were urns, I was like, that doesn't have anything to do with this. That's sensational. And the reason I say that is because, one, it's expensive to have someone professionally cremated. And if you're like, you know, this person who feels that these women were disposable to get rid of them, I don't think you're going to spend the money on disposing of them.
Well, and someone would know if that's involving other people, right? That they're not just going to cremate someone without asking questions. They're going to be like,
it sounds like other people knew about this stuff. Like the guy ran his mouth about stuff.
Well, so the charges that he's been picked up on, he hasn't been charged with murder yet. He's been charged with, he was with somebody who had the ID of a missing person on them.
Yeah.
And he had like weapons, I believe. So he's being held on weapons charges, but they haven't charged him with anything new.
Meanwhile, these women have been missing for a long time. So was it their ID or was it a fake ID with their name?
No, it was a different person altogether, I'm pretty sure. A different missing person. Her last name is Tonazelli, I believe.
Right. Oh, so not the two you mentioned.
No, not the two that they're talking about. They think they found pictures of deceased. It's a completely different person.
How do they know that it's them, those two missing women? Because it looks kind of like them.
Yeah, they're saying they've been identified on the videos or in the images.
But how?
I assume their family identified them. They don't say. They just say that they've been identified, and that if the pictures haven't been altered, that they would likely be deceased.
Yeah, but how do you identify them? Do you just like take all the missing women in Philadelphia, call their families in? Do any of these women look familiar to you?
I don't know.
Yeah, I need more information because this doesn't really make sense.
They haven't released a lot of information. All they've said that This is still an ongoing investigation. They haven't gotten through all of the digital stuff they found so far. So this is like really early news on the forensic side.
Interesting. Okay, you can play it.
That's significant because if the bodies are not able to be discovered, you have to begin to wonder then how were they disposed of? These are all questions that have to be answered, and they don't have to be answered in any particular order. You just have to get the answer to these questions, and a thorough investigation will start to unpack that for you.
And let me ask you this, because I asked you over the phone when we were trying to determine where we would take this interview. So one of the things that I was really interested in is you find photos, but you don't find a person, you don't find a body. So how do you link the two so that you can further the investigation?
Well, think about it. These people, these women, were not missing for a little bit of time. I believe the commissioner said one was missing since 2018, and I think the other since 2012. So these are not missing persons who have been going for a little bit of time. So when you factor in how long that these women have been missing, have not contacted their loved ones, haven't spoken to their family, haven't surfaced anywhere, they've left no digital footprint anywhere, and we live in a digital world. They have been off the grid for a very long time. To see them in a video that, if it has not been altered, they appear to be deceased, I think that is absolutely a step toward probable cause for a warrant for arrest of Mr. Horsch. Now, I think it's also
Were they in a
critical
wait?
that
Were they in a
Mr. Horsch
video?
has been.
He said when you see them in the video, so they're in the same video.
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
That's the way they phrased it in the articles. But they don't really go into detail about like they're not showing the video, obviously, and they don't go into detail about like the context of the video, like what kind of video it was that they were seeing. And they just said that they have footage or images, and I'm not sure which they were seeing in, if it was a video or an image.
If this guy goes to trial, this would be sensational. But Pennsylvania doesn't allow cameras in courtrooms.
Yeah, yeah. He's a nice looking guy too.
Who is?
Eugene Horsch.
Oh, okay. Play it. Well, I mean, play the rest of the video.
Living at this property for a very, very long time. Prior to him, his father lived at that property until his recent passing just last year in 2025. And so it's not a situation where someone else lived there. This is a rental unit. This is somewhere.
All right. Do a Google image search of Albert Fish.
Okay.
Because I'm not visual, as you know, but he meets my description criteria of Albert Fish. So I want you to look at him and see if they look alike.
I mean, they kind of look alike. Do you want to see?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. Yeah. All right, hold on. Old Albert.
Albert Fish was wild, man.
There you go.
Not in a good way. Hold on, let me. Oh, you're adding it. Okay. Oh, it's thinking. It's spinning.
It's up on my end.
Yeah, you can take it off and put it back on. There's other pictures of him.
That's not the picture you're thinking of?
No.
Oh well. But that's what's going on with Eugene Horsch.
Okay. That's crazy.
Yeah. More to come. I'm sure this will turn into this. The thing is, there's so much evidence they have to go through that this could be like Max Heuermann, where it's like more and more people get found that have been missing. Or he's responsible for more and more people missing.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's still early on. I definitely want to follow this as it progresses because it sounds crazy, but yeah, that's interesting, Chris. Thanks for looking all that up today.
Yep.
I have a little update about. Do you remember the Gerhard Koenig case?
Yes.
So it's that couple that was from Pittsburgh that moved their family to Hawaii.
Yeah.
The husband's a doctor. He's an anesthesiologist. And she was like, or was, she still is, some type of like engineering specialist
Okay.
that was like a really niche thing. So when she found a decent job where she could work remotely, they moved their family to Hawaii. And the husband allegedly, well, not allegedly, he's been convicted. Can you say allegedly?
No. Once they're convicted, I don't think it's allegedly anymore.
He was convicted of trying to kill his wife when they went on a hike because she was having an emotional affair with another man. And she was not believable at all when she testified. It was pretty obvious. I even saw some people with psychology backgrounds breaking it down, and they felt the same way I did. So anyway, there's a little update in his case, and I'm going to play the video.
Let's do it.
Oh, wait, I don't have a video. Oh.
What was the update?
Okay, so the update is the jury found him guilty of attempted manslaughter based on extreme mental or emotional disturbance.
Yeah.
He initially faced charges of second-degree attempted murder, but they acquitted him on that charge. And then immediately after his trial, jurors gave interviews to the media about their experience, and they said that they do not believe he intended to kill his wife.
Oh, wow.
The defense said its motion for conviction to be overturned is based on that, saying that mistakes happen, but the jury didn't understand that he can't be charged with that if his intention wasn't to kill her.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It is. I'm curious to see what happens with it.
Yeah, see if they end up getting a new trial.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting because he has a son that's not his son with his wife. And that kid testified against his father and is kind of choosing the stepmom's side. So that was interesting. But yeah, anyway. A Cold Burger update.
Cold Burger.
Yeah, I have all of this stuff about his mental health is coming out. I'm gonna share if that's okay.
Yeah.
Hold on, I got it. It started without you. We don't want that.
No.
Look, it's my favorite.
Hey guys, so there are still records being unsealed in the Bryan Kohberger case, and some of the latest records that have come out talk about his mental health. People magazine was able to get some of the filings. Bryan Kohberger revealed that he'd been diagnosed with 4 mental health disorders in this 2025 filing: autism, OCD, ADHD, and ARFID. And he met with a psychologist.
What's ARFID?
And not the food avoidance one. Let me look it up.
I know, I'm gonna look it up too. Radio frequency. Wait, what? What is it?
It's an eating disorder, avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. So it's where like you don't want to eat anything except chicken.
Oh yeah, it's called
different
anorexia.
At the request of his defense, when they were trying to come up with what the defense would be if they went to trial, one of the first things that the psychologist noted was that Kohberger had restricted range of facial expression with stoic effect at baseline, which, having seen him in court many times, I mean, he never really showed any emotion at all, so that doesn't really surprise me. She wrote his smiles were often slight, his social smiling was either inconsistent or absent, and the manner in which he often furrowed his eyebrows during more light conversation contributed to awkward engagement. This is according to People. He also exhibited a number of atypical social behaviors, which included lack of descriptive or empathetic gestures, atypical speech tone, awkward interaction, awkward delivery of humor at times, awkward comments. They also talk about him having an eating disorder, which you guys may remember. I reported about his one family member saying that he was very particular about what he would eat. So a lot of this doesn't come as a surprise, but it's just kind of interesting that some of these records are being unsealed, and People Magazine was able to obtain some of them. Hey guys, so there are still records being unsealed in the Bryan Kohberger case.
Okay.
People Magazine does a lot of true crime stuff. It's weird.
Oh, it's People Magazine. Do you think that's weird? They're great.
No, I'm just saying it's not what I traditionally expect from People Magazine from generations ago.
Do you remember that really famous incel guy that Bryan Kohberger idolized, Elliot Rodger?
Yeah.
Did you ever see his videos?
No.
Where he acts entitled to girls?
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
I think we watched some of his videos at one point in time.
Yeah, they were crazy.
They're cringe.
I have a tie to incel later, but I just now thought of him for some reason when I watched that thing about Bryan Kohberger.
Yeah.
All right. So I have two more just kind of update things. One is Lindsay Clancy and one is Reckless Ben. Do you have a preference?
Let's do Clancy.
Okay. So the first half of this week was very, very difficult. On Monday, her therapist, Letitia Dukes, her notes said that Lindsay called Aspire Crisis Support on their 24-hour emergency program. She called twice, was given no help, and told to try a day program. She testified that Lindsay's husband, Patrick, joined a therapy visit and shared that Lindsay's anxiety was getting significantly worse. On Tuesday, Lindsay began to sob audibly as autopsies of her children were described. At one point, it sounded like she said, "I can't do this," while she was hysterical. And it was a real reaction from her. It wasn't fake. And honestly, it broke me. The judge, he had to call for a break so that she could kind of calm down. And, the camera lingered on her. And she has two full-time medical staff that are with her in court. They kind of rushed to her side to console her. And it was sad. Really heartbreaking. And, the prosecutor could have stipulated to the deaths of her children, and then the jury doesn't have to hear about any of this stuff.
Yeah, but she wants them to hear it.
Right. And, people are saying it's to torment Lindsay.
Yeah, it's gross.
I don't see this prosecutor having that ulterior motive. Everybody's giving this prosecutor a hard time, and I'm trying to find some grace because I can't imagine that she's just this much of a bad person.
Right.
That she's doing this, but I'm hoping that maybe she was assigned this case and she's a professional, so she has to do her job. And it's such a bad case that this is the only way that she can win it, which is her job.
Yeah.
So, hoping.
I agree with all that.
Anyway, there was a moment. I'm going to bring up this video.
Okay.
Let me pause it. Okay. So I pulled this from, let's see whose channel it is. The Megan Cuniff channel, she has a lot of good stuff on her channel. So shout out to her. And thank you for letting me steal this, even though I didn't ask. I appreciate you. Can you see that?
Not yet. It's loading.
Maybe take it off and put it back on. Oh, there we go. It's up.
Yeah, it's up now.
We're going to address the Commonwealth's motion regarding trial court security logs.
Thank you.
Counsel?
Your Honor, the Commonwealth is asking the court to allow the Commonwealth and the defense to have copies of a log that we were advised that or we've seen, that the trial court security has for people who go back into the lockup area to visit with or tend to or what have you with the defendant during the course of this trial. Both myself and ADA Sprague have witnessed at several points. Obviously, we know there are medical staff that go back with the defendant, but in addition to medical staff, which are not really the primary thrust of this motion, it's that there have been other individuals that are not counsel that are permitted to go back there. And we're not alleging that that's inappropriate in any way, shape, or form. Clearly, the staff here, the security staff, has followed all appropriate protocols. We are aware that Dr. Zeisel has been back there. We witnessed a priest being allowed back there the other day. And we are advised that these visitors are kept as a log when they come, when they exit, what days, what times. And the Commonwealth is alleging that that's information that might be necessary for us to effectively cross-examine some of the defense witnesses that are going to be presented. Certainly with Dr. Zeisel, it could pose as a potential bias that he's there, that he's back there. He's being presented as an expert witness on the concept of criminal responsibility, and there are certain ethical rules that forensic psychiatrists and psychologists follow that he might be subject to cross-examination about, and this, and the nature of his relationship with the defendant, could be an area fraught for cross-examination.
You can tell K-Shred's ready to.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. He was like, he's not having it.
Nope.
Because the court records are not, these court records, I would suggest, are not in the care, custody, and control of the Commonwealth. Procedurally, we have filed the motion as a Rule 17 motion asking for access to the records just for this defendant.
How do they find two twin women with the same body type to be on a team? Same hair, same body. That's how they hire them. They're like, you got to look like this to work here.
Yeah.
During the course of the trial.
I mean, you're not looking for the name of the priest who went back there, are you?
Father Bob.
What, I mean, I understand. I'm just trying to figure out what the scope of this is. I understand the request for Dr. Zeisel's amount of visits, because he's slated to possibly be a witness. So I understand that how that might be relevant.
Right.
The priest,
well,
I'm struggling with.
At this point, Your Honor, we haven't been furnished with exactly who defense is going to be calling as witnesses in their case. We have an idea from a witness list that was filed that keeps evolving as the trial progresses. So we don't know, for instance, if that person for some reason has a relationship to the defendant and he wishes to call her or call him for some reason. So with the exception of, again, the nurses, we don't necessarily need their information. We know the purpose for why they're there and that they don't have a role in this case. But anyone else who has been permitted back there that is outside the medical staff, I would suggest the Commonwealth is entitled to at least know, and whether we are able to use that information if it becomes more apparent when the defense was underway with their case, that would come to, that we'd have to wait and see if that's the case. But certainly the fact that counsel has announced Dr. Zeisel as a testifying witness, that's information we believe we're entitled to.
All right, Ms. Reddington?
So first of all, here's the list. They want the list. We don't need a Rule 17 and a court order. They can just go over from there to there and get the list and see who's been going in and out to see Lindsay. I don't have a problem with that by no means whatsoever. Father Bob is a Roman Catholic priest who baptized these kids, who is very, very close to Lindsay. Not in a religious sense. They just like each other. She went to Mass sporadically. She's not a devout Catholic. She's a Catholic. She has a relationship with the father at that church. And that guy has been with her for 3 years, through the hospitals, through Brigham and Women's, going to Tewksbury. I haven't even talked to the guy since last week, first time I ever met him. Shook his hand. Nice man. After that debacle yesterday that we went through with the public,
Let's stay focused on.
I am staying focused.
Well,
This is what I'm dealing with.
I guess I'll tell you right now, so I can save you. I'm not ordering the name or address of anyone other than Dr. Zeisel.
Can I call him as a witness right now? Tell
Cool.
you what his involvement is with Coburger
No.
back?
No, well, I'm gonna allow that so the Commonwealth can take a look at that record. Nobody else though. And then at some point, if the doctor is called, we may need if we have to address that, we can address it. So I'm going to allow the Commonwealth to have the information regarding Dr. Zeisel, and that's it though. Anyone else who went back there has been admitted pursuant to the appropriate rules of the security department in this case. Especially, I'm not ordering the name, address, or frequency of this Roman Catholic priest. I'm just not going to do it based on the record that I have now. If for some reason he's called as a witness, which I haven't seen that, I haven't seen an expectation even regards that. If that comes up, then the Commonwealth can renew this, and I may reevaluate. But right now, the Commonwealth's motion regarding security logs is allowed as to Dr. Paul Zeisel only. All right. Anything else we need to address before Monday? Commonwealth?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Bennington?
No, thank you.
All right. So we'll see everybody on Monday. Thank you.
Yeah, K-Shred wasn't having it when they were
I mean,
doing that.
because it was stupid. She's entitled to see a priest.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't make sense. I mean, that's why the judge was just like, what are you talking about? No.
They're just trying to get up on people.
Right, but they know better.
They should. Maybe they don't.
Speaking of, we were on a program I like a lot. I don't know if you've watched it that much, called Justice Serve TV. They were having some of their viewers on. I'm going to play a little clip of it if that's okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
That was a good time. I appreciate them having us on.
Yeah, it was good. I'm having a lot of mixed emotions about the Lindsay Clancy case, and of course that's what we were talking about. And when we were watching that psychiatrist, Dr. Yosef, you know, I asked you a question and we kind of interrupted it to talk about, you know, your struggles with bipolar and taking an SSRI. So it was nice. I kind of got to talk about, you know, what I went through a little bit, and you got to talk about what you went through. So we have permission from them. We're allowed to play it. So I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Unless you don't want to watch yourself, because that might be weird.
I'm fine.
Okay.
So, Christopher, thank you so very much. I think I'd like to have both of you say a little bit about why you're coming on the show to talk to us in your own way rather than me paraphrasing, because the point is I want to make this about you and you're educating us. So, Christopher, do you want to go first, or Vanessa?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first. My name is Chris. I have been diagnosed with bipolar disorder since about 2017. And I've been through a few similar circumstances to what I've heard about in the Lindsay Clancy trial. And so I'm happy to talk about my lived experience as a person with mental illness.
Thank you. And Vanessa?
I just had a difficult ectopic pregnancy, and then a month later, difficult high-risk pregnancy. So I was already kind of stressed out, and then severe postpartum depression.
Okay. So, Vanessa, then let me start with you. When the judge ruled that the jury could not hear from women like you who have been through postpartum depression, some type of postpartum issue having to do with mental health, did you agree with him, or did you say, wait a second, why not?
At first, I had an issue with it, but now that I've really watched the trial, I think that it would be a lot more relevant for people like Chris, who dealt with being given an SSRI when they are bipolar. I strongly feel like that would be more relevant than women with postpartum psychosis, to be honest with you.
Okay, so that, let me then, because we're gonna go back and forth. And Chris, tell people who don't know what an SSRI is, and tell people what the issue that Vanessa's talking about is, in case they have not watched this trial. But we're trying to educate.
Yeah, sure. So an SSRI is an antidepressant. I'm not a doctor. I don't know much about actual pharmacology, but what I understand and what I experienced was that if you suffer from mania as a function of your bipolar disorder and you take an antidepressant, you will go into a very manic state, a very, for me, it was like a very hyper paranoid and manic sort of break where I actually lost a job over it. A doctor didn't believe me when I tried to tell them I was suffering from mania. They questioned me about it. They said, well, what do you mean? You stay up all night? And I was like, yeah, I stay up most of the night. I sleep like 3 hours a night. Like I suffer from these manic symptoms. And they prescribed me Celexa, which is an SSRI, an antidepressant. And I went into a complete manic state where I couldn't function. I couldn't control what I was doing at work. I ended up having to take a couple of days off of work. I was working in a restaurant at the time, and they ended up firing me over things that I had done and said that I honestly have very little recollection of now, outside of just what I've been told about what happened during that incident.
And did you have one doctor, two doctors? And also tell people what mania is for those, again, who don't know, because
Okay, sure. Yeah.
we have, I mean, I have a very good friend who obviously suffers from what you suffered from. So I know about it, but I want to hear it from you. And I want you to tell our viewers, because I think you'll relate to them more than even me.
So when you talk about bipolar disorder, it's like two different sides, right? You have your mania and you have depression. Generally, people who have bipolar disorder suffer from mania and depression. Mania is like the excited, hyperactive state of that, but it extends past just being like having a lot of energy and being really determined. You drift into grandiosity where like you start to imagine things much more grand than they are. Like you come up with these, I would come up with these insane sort of plots, sort of like ideas that seemed like really great, groundbreaking ideas at the time. And it was really just my brain spinning around way too fast and I couldn't execute on them. You're so hyper to a point where you're just kind of like a top spinning around, and a lot of inhibitions are lost in that state. And a lot of your judgment is questionable in that state. So you tend to take a lot of high risk moves, do a lot of high risk things. That was my experience with it, at least.
And were you with Vanessa at the time this was going on?
No, this was before we ever met. So I started seeking psychiatric help around 2016. I was probably seeing this nurse practitioner that prescribed me Celexa around 2017, 2018. And then I continued to see doctors after that. I've seen probably 3 or 4 different doctors. And that's something I was talking about before the show started. I was told by other people that have been in similar situations to me to have a healthy skepticism of all the doctors I meet. And if it didn't feel like something that made sense to you, or that you felt like your body was off with what they were recommending you to do, that you were in control and you could find a new doctor. You could potentially say, this doesn't seem like it's a good idea, or it's working for me. And that's really, especially with what's going on with this case, that's always something that's really stuck with me, because most people don't approach medicine that way. They go to a doctor, the doctor prescribes them something, they take it as it's prescribed on the medication. But that's how a lot of people end up in these scenarios where they're way over medicated on different types of drugs. They're doing different things that are probably making their lives harder than they are actually benefiting from.
And so,
I'm sorry, Linda, can I ask Chris a follow-up?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
It kind of relates to what we're seeing in trial. 2 things that I noted. One was that healthcare providers, and specifically in this case, it's the latest nurse practitioner, they say that the patient has autonomy, that almost putting it off on the patient to figure out what's best for him or her. That I think is odd, number one. Number two, in your particular case, did you have
he will be coming back.
Oh, I'm gone. Am I gone?
He never
The
left.
show
No.
lost everyone for a second. Michael, we
Okay.
lost you.
She lost everyone for a second.
What
Am
you're
I-
seeing with nurse practitioner was where we actually lost the show for a second. We
Oh,
lost all
okay.
4 of us.
Okay. So number one was the autonomy issue. That the healthcare providers make it sound like, hey, patients got autonomy, and we're just here. They're calling the shots. That seems odd to me. Number two, why is it? And maybe in your case it was different. Did you feel like there was somebody leading the plan, or were you bouncing around between various healthcare providers without real direction?
It's interesting because it's been both. So there were times where I felt like I was arguing with my health practitioners, where I was like I said, with that one nurse practitioner that prescribed me an antidepressant, even though I was telling her I thought I had symptoms of mania, and that shouldn't go together. In that instance, I felt like rudderless, like what you were saying. It was like I was arguing with my health practitioner about what I was experiencing, and they were kind of not taking my word for it and kind of questioning my own interpretation of how I felt. At some point, I got to a group of doctors with a well-respected medical institution, and I basically told them, I need you to take the wheel. I have no idea what to do. Like, you need to help me figure out a plan that works. I don't want to be on a ton of drugs. I just want to have like some sort of level-headedness, because I was experiencing something called mixed episodes, which is the symptoms of mania with all of the depression at the same time, and it's very chaotic and dangerous. So they did take the wheel at that point. That's when I started getting on the regimen I'm currently on, that I've been on for at least like 7 years now, and that's worked really well for me. But it's this weird situation where you could be taken down the wrong path by someone, and you have to be aware of that and be looking out for that. But at the same time, you're not a doctor, so you do need someone to guide you and at some point take the reins when you feel like you can trust them and lead you in a direction that will hopefully get you well enough to get your feet on the ground.
Chris, one of the things that they've said in court was that there's no blood test to talk about these drugs. But people I know have their blood tested constantly, once every month or once every 3 months, to make sure the drugs are at an equal level in their system. Have you experienced that?
More of the blood tests that I end up doing are to make sure that the drugs aren't affecting other parts of my body, like make sure my liver is okay, and make sure that like my there's other levels they want to check all the time for the type of drugs I'm on. For full disclosure, right now I'm on Abilify, which is antipsychotic, and I'm on Lamictal, which is a mood stabilizer. And that mix, they're not super high doses, but those mixes have made me even enough to feel like I'm in control of my life and I'm still the person I want to be, but without the cycling that I go through when I'm not on medication.
So it can be done. Let's go over, Vanessa, let's go over to you, because we also want to highlight women's health. Chris' story is wonderful in terms of educating us on the drugs.
I know, right?
But I don't think he can get pregnant right now.
I'm just learning about this.
Right. So I want to hear from you in terms of the pregnancy, because you had the ectopic pregnancy that had to change your hormones, and talk about your imbalances. I mean, Chris probably has some kind of chemical imbalance. Our viewers are picking that up in his system. We all know that when you're pregnant, your hormones change, especially when you may not give birth, and then you give birth. Talk to us about what you started to feel in terms of the symptoms of postpartum depression, which we know is different than psychosis, but I think it's important for people to understand.
That happened almost like a day or two after I got home from the hospital with the baby. I was producing more milk than I think people should, so I couldn't sleep because I'd make a mess. No matter what I did. I know that's TMI for some people, but I mean, I'm just going to be honest about it. So I would have to get up every hour, even if the baby was asleep, just to take care of myself. So I started getting really, really sleep deprived. And with that sleep deprivation, I kind of became unreasonable. I wanted to do everything with the baby. I wanted to be like super mom, and I wasn't asking for help. I started to get dark thoughts at night, mostly when I was alone with the baby. I thought about killing myself. I had thoughts about killing the baby, not really killing the baby, but going crazy and doing that because I didn't want to. I don't know how better to explain that. It was just some sort of sleep deprived hormonal insanity that I could not get out of.
Yeah, and one of the things that you've mentioned to us is that you were frightened to even talk about it to a mental health professional.
I
with the fear
never,
that
ever talk to a mental health professional about this because I thought I would somehow, at the very least, have my child taken away from me.
So talk to us about that the fear of the government coming in and removing your child when there are so many women, I think 12, 13% of women suffer at least from postpartum depression around the United States, how that prevents other people and that there has to be a change in that type of system. This is tragic.
I mean, I don't want to say normalize it, but I mean, I really think that if women were more open to talking about things, I mean, anything. I mean, I'm going through that right now with perimenopause. Like, I didn't know what to expect because people don't really talk about it. They just now are. But there are so many taboo topics that women just don't discuss that you get blindsided by. Another one I experienced was the ectopic pregnancy. I had no idea that could happen. None. Wow. And then I was just gutted. So I think it's important that we all talk about it, and it's really ugly and it's scary. And, you know, I snapped out of it. I did some things that were unusual because I had a self-awareness kind of about what was going on with me. And I thought, if I'm just around the baby less somehow without it being obvious, everybody will be safer. So I went back to work after 2.5 weeks. I just decided I'm going back to work. I hired a nanny. I told my husband at the time, not Chris, my ex-husband, that I couldn't go back to sleep if I got up with the baby. So he had to do it because he could just go right back to sleep. So he did. And, you know, we had a teenager in the house that helped me out a lot. So I was very lucky. If I had 3 little kids, I probably wouldn't have been.
Oh, this is like a tragic. Michael Bryant, you are listening. I can see your face is like your jaw is dropping down, because I don't think either of us, until we started listening to the Kelsey Fitzsimmons case and Lindsay Clancy case, even though we had Yates in the background and we had, you know, Brooke Shields talking to us, realized the extent of how horrible this is for people that need mental health treatment. And yet the country, the medical system, and the government doesn't seem to understand what the issues are. Michael.
Yeah, Vanessa, let me ask you this question. You know, now that you've gone through this, survived it, what is the one thing you would tell others to do, to be more proactive about?
I don't have any good advice for anyone at this point, and I'll tell you why. Watching this trial, I didn't ask anybody for help. I may have told you a month ago I should have, and that's what you should do, and I don't think so anymore. Look what happened to Lindsay Clancy. So
yeah,
I mean,
that's frightening.
It is, and I'm sorry that I don't have an eloquent answer for you on that, but like this is scary, and we just need to get things changed.
Well, do you think that if you were to tell the jury, if you were one of the witnesses called to tell the jury exactly what you just said, because yeah, when you first wrote to us, you know, it was a different situation, but now listening, I think none of us expected the amount of, I guess, chaos that she got as a result of trying to seek help over and over and over. I can't say how many times over because there was so much of it. And then it just ended up in what we have here. And then now the government wants to put her in life for jail. You know, talk to us about that. That what would you say? I know I asked you at the beginning, but now that you're thinking about it, what would you say to the jury?
What would I say to them about her or women in general in that situation?
Both. You can choose. If you can't answer one, choose what you feel is the best that, you know, tells everyone listening, and including the government if they're listening.
Lindsay Clancy was not in control of her actions in any way. I think she had postpartum depression. I don't know about the psychosis, because to me it's been sounding more and more like it's the medication, like what Chris described. And she was trying to get help and everyone failed her. Her kids, unfortunately, aren't here anymore. And her body was the instrument of it, but it was not her fault. It was absolutely the health system failing her.
You know,
And
you know, on,
go ahead.
on
Go
that
ahead,
distinction between, postpartum depression and psychosis, I still don't think the jury's heard enough about the factors that lead you to one conclusion or the other. I think that's still very
Yeah.
vague. But there were a couple of moments today where Reddington got from Nurse Gelada that in her experience, and he said, I think with postpartum psychosis, she had worked with 5 patients. Okay. So thank goodness the numbers suggest the psychosis portion of that condition is far more rare than depression, which is far more common. But he got her to admit that hallucinations and hearing voices, it happens. And I think for this jury, that's got to be a light bulb kind of moment that should erase. This is a defense, cross-examination. He's just turned the Commonwealth's witness into his witness by making the point that, yeah, this psychosis can lead to exactly what Lindsay Clancy said happened before she took the lives of her kids. And I just think that's critical information.
I saw a comment on here where someone said I muddled through this on my own, no med supplements, just let it ride its course. Yeah. And that was probably not the right decision. But I was too terrified to ask anyone for help. And luckily for me, I had a scary wake-up call and I was able to snap out of it. But, I think most women do.
Yeah, they used to call it, and I see that someone's mentioning right now, a long time ago, somebody has the baby blues. We didn't know what the baby blues meant at that time, but it was truly, a condition, a physiological or psychiatric or psychological condition. And so that's where I'm going to bring Chris back into it. Chris, your experience with these type of drugs, could you see yourself developing a psychosis from these overlay of drugs?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, without a doubt. And what's funny about it, well, not funny, excuse me, what's interesting about it to me is that they've been talking a lot about Seroquel. I've taken Seroquel. I would not recommend anyone taking Seroquel. At one point, it was a drug I kept around as part of my regimen as like a short circuit drug. In case I went into complete rage, I could take it and it would short circuit me out and I would go to sleep. But it is heavy. It is a heavy drug that you feel very outside of yourself. You feel very slowed down, and it would make me so angry because I didn't feel like I could function. I felt like I was crawling through mud essentially. So these drugs can do a lot to a person that is not necessarily what they would normally behave like. And the amount that she was taking and the combinations that she was taking, I mean, there's no telling what the side effects could be.
Yeah, let's talk about that, Chris, in your experience, because they were talking about this titration. I always like to learn new things. I remember titration from chemistry class. They're talking about going from 100 milligrams. This is the Seroquel, 100 milligrams day 1, 200 day 2, 300 day 3, 400 day 4. What does that tell you, having taken that drug?
That sounds crazy. Like when I titrate a drug, it's for like weeks. So it's like taking 25 milligrams for 5 days, taking 50 milligrams for 5 more days, and then you work your way up to a regular. The amount of milligrams they're saying, I'm not a doctor, so again, this is just my anecdotal experience with these drugs, but that sounds like a lot of Seroquel. And to be ramping up that quickly, like day after day after day, I wouldn't do it. I would not be in a good mood if I did that.
Well, I know that there was some testimony today, and Michael, you can tell us that Lindsay Clancy was turned away from one program because they felt the amount of drugs was causing her the depression. And I think you mentioned that when you were talking to us. But then how do you get out of it? Was there any answer in court? Because Chris is saying you need to have doctors that you trust, and then, go with how your body feels. And Vanessa is saying she was scared. She wished she could have doctors that she trusts, but scared the ramifications were so great about losing her kids. And so she realized the risks and basically got the risk lessened by going back to work, getting a nanny, getting her ex-husband to help her, et cetera, et cetera. but realizing the risk. But it sounds that Lindsay Clancy was like a zombie at some point and didn't realize any risks.
Well, yeah, and that again gets back to the fact that she had all these overlaying healthcare providers that weren't talking to one another and didn't know what the other hand was doing. So, and that's what it led to. She needed effectively to be detoxed so that they could look at her base levels and figure out what are her issues without meds. Because when it's all muddled with meds, the healthcare provider has nowhere to go. And that, I think, I don't know for sure, but I think that's why the Women's and Infants Hospital was so hesitant to bring her on board. They said it was because she didn't seem to have the intent or the plan to kill herself, just the ideations, the intrusive thoughts. But I'm thinking.
I'm sorry to correct you. I'm pretty sure that the Women and Children's Hospital said that she couldn't be in their program because she was on too many medications.
Right, which is the antithesis of what she was going there for. She was supposed to go there for 2 weeks to kind of figure it all out, but they wouldn't take her because she was already so medicated. And that medication is what arguably led to those suicidal, intrusive thoughts. So how do you win? You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah, that was a lot of the experience that I went through. So, my first real attempt, like saying like, okay, I think I need to see a mental health provider to actually figure out how to get, at a stable level, kind of like having a moment of awareness of how unstable I was. Because when you're in it, you don't know, right? That's your lived experience. So when I first did that, the experience was argumentative, and it was me arguing with the practitioner about it. That ended, and then it became me giving somebody else the wheel and somebody else sort of trying different things on me. But luckily, they were reputable doctors. If they had prescribed me the same way that Lindsay Clancy was prescribed, I have no idea how I would have behaved, because the types of drugs that she was on in combination, like they were giving her Seroquel, which is really, really strong. Like it does a lot to you. They were giving her the antihistamine, which makes you super tired and doesn't really help at all from what I understand. And then the antidepressants, which have all kinds of different side effects associated with not being able to sleep, different things like that. I don't know how anyone can survive like that.
Well, I'll tell you what, by the way, I want to say hello to Bob Mata, who is here in our chat. Vanessa and Chris, we'd like to have you on again as this case progresses, if you're willing to do so, because I think listening to the two of you, it's just amazing. I mean, I hope the doctors are listening to the two of you, and the government is, because we have to do something. And I really want to give you the last words of your own story before we sign you off for tonight's show. So,
all right. Did you fall asleep?
No, I did not fall asleep. That was a good time. I was on mute.
Yeah, that was really cool. I had a good time doing it, and maybe they'll have us back, maybe they won't. We'll see. I mean, it was nice to be able to just be so brutally honest. I mean, I talked about breast milk. Like, I just wanted to be able to put all the ugliness of it out there, and it seems like you did too. So that's really good. I just have one more thing this evening, and then we can wrap it up.
Okay.
Reckless Ben has a new video.
Yeah, you were mentioning that.
It doesn't have anything to do with bricks and minifigs. Now, I saw a video of his like years ago, or over a year ago, before any of the bricks and minifigs started, where he joined some cult that like worked in a restaurant or something. It was really weird. I don't remember much of it. So he's been around doing stuff, and now he, I guess, infiltrated a troubled teen facility.
Okay.
So that ought to be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me get it queued up and paused. All right. Let me know when it's there, because it starts abruptly. So let me know when you can see it.
I can see it.
Imagine your kid starts getting into trouble and a professional tells you that there's a school that can fix them. They'll get an awesome education and fun outdoor activities that restore your kid's hope. But once you send your kids away, you can no longer see what's actually happening. What if you just spent your life savings on a program that makes them even worse? Well, I'm about to go on the craziest mission in the entire world to find out. And the school I'm talking about is called Provo Canyon School. And there's been a ton of allegations about this place.
Families are suing Provo Canyon School.
Raise your hand if you call yourself a survivor of abuse.
When I first heard about this place, the first thing I thought was, if this place really is as bad as everyone's saying it is, then why is it still open? Why are the parents still sending their kids here? And if you go to the website, why is there only 5-star reviews on this place? So I decided to do some research, and it seems like the reason this place is still open is because all of these are just word-of-mouth allegations.
I was verbally, mentally, and physically abused on a daily basis.
Yeah, unless there's video evidence of what's happening inside, it's going to be really hard to shut this place down, which is why I'm going undercover to get this video evidence. And if Provo Canyon really is doing bad things, then first I'm actually going to try and improve their facility. But if they don't want to take my advice and continue being evil for some reason, then I will do whatever I can to make sure they get shut down. So I first heard about this school when a fan reached out to me through email saying he actually went to one of these schools himself and that I need to investigate this place.
If I was given that option, I would choose to go to jail, like right away. Knowing what I know now, there's no world I would go back to a place like that. You're woken up early in the morning, you're barely fed any food. I was kept in solitary confinement for like 3 days. Every single aspect of your life, they will critique to make you like bend to their will.
What are the things people get sent there for?
Disobeying your parents at home, headed down a wayward path like my parents said I was.
You said they hire anyone as teachers, right?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah, one of the main things I keep seeing online is that Provo Canyon will hire anyone as a teacher, which is very bad because normally to be a teacher, you have to have a minimum of a bachelor's degree. You have to get a state-approved teaching license, and most importantly, you have to have a squeaky clean criminal record if you want to work with kids. So to see what their hiring process is like, I'm going to see if they'll hire my friend Sheldon. So I was thinking, if you want to, would you be down to get hired by one of these companies, and then you'd be like a teacher?
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Dang, that might be hard to get into, though.
Sheldon's perfect because I don't think he meets any of these qualifications. First off, he never went to high school, and if you just Google his name, the first thing that comes up about him is he stole a car. I mean, this was a long time ago, and since then, he's gotten sober and completely turned his life around. He's now a very productive member of society. The only thing he gets arrested for now is making GoFundMes.
We're just going to do this GoFundMe. You're being arrested.
But the point is, he has probably the worst record ever, and he is definitely not allowed to have this job. So we signed him up.
The interview is in person there.
Each seat is provided with a seatbelt.
We're here in Utah to get this job.
Pretty dang nervous. Time to start the spy cameras.
Spy camera, spy camera.
This is great. Are you excited by this? Is a cold watch for me because I wanted to wait until we were on here, and like so far I'm like, holy crap, this is great.
Yeah, this is great.
All right.
Hello. I have an interview.
And Sheldon's entire interview was only one question.
Let's say you walk in, code was called, you walk in and you see two kids just fighting. They're just going at it. What would be your, what would you do?
Well, I'm assuming, I would try and break it up.
I just realized how long this is. So we're only going to watch half, and then we'll break out a part 2 next time. Okay.
Yeah. Sounds good.
All right.
Up the best I could. I mean, I hope that's the right answer at least, but that's what I would try and do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. We do get into restraints. I hope that you would be willing to get your hands a little bit dirty.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Awesome. I would just wait until you get the call. I feel like you'd be good.
Okay.
I got the job.
Wait, you got it?
Yeah, I sent you the text. Look how good I got the interview.
The only problem is Sheldon was basically 100% sure that he was going to fail his background check.
Since it's a school with kids, there's like all these extra federal regulations.
But maybe Provo Canyon is so money hungry, they'll just ignore all these federal regulations.
Maybe they don't follow the federal regulations, you know?
Yeah.
And so maybe you can just get in because maybe they're breaking the rules. I don't know. We'll see. So are you like officially hired now or?
Yeah, they verified my education.
I thought you said you weren't going to get hired.
Well, dude, I shouldn't have.
They didn't give you a background check, did they?
They shouldn't have hired me because I stole a car.
That's crazy. They didn't even question it.
And they said, don't worry, you start. We verified it ourselves. And it's like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Oh, sure. I got to get you a plane ticket and Airbnb and stuff then.
Yeah.
Well, now that Sheldon's an actual teacher at this school, I bought him even more spy cameras so he can secretly film his experience. Now it's time to see if they're actually doing stuff that's illegal. And if they are, that's when I come in and help them improve their facility.
As soon as we pass those doors, you're mine.
Yeah.
And now it's time for Sheldon's first day of training. Yeah, this is still pretty much Sheldon's first time ever using these spy cameras, so he wasn't really used to it and kind of just filmed the ceiling the whole time. So to make it more entertaining for you guys, this is the actual audio, but I hired an animator to animate over it. So here you go.
What do you think we do here at Provo Canyon?
Your youth residential treatment center.
Yes.
How do the kids feel about being in here?
Not great.
So they don't like it?
Not usually.
Almost all of our kids have made real and serious attempts to end their lives. Their parents call in, they're immediately asking, am I getting out? Am I getting out? Am I getting out? Their staff are going, not today, you're not. They want out. That's a high risk time because they're hoping the decision is going to be made to send them home.
But we've had a kid here for maybe like 5 or 6 years.
What kind of like aftercare do you guys have set up? Because obviously, you know, it'll be dependent on a place for 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to be having a really hard time adjusting to real life.
3 typical types of restraints. You have your mechanical, your chemical, and your physical. Mechanical is going to be like your tie downs. Your chemical are going to be like the injections, tranquilizers. Guess how many restraints we average?
50?
More.
100?
More.
300?
There you go.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
250 to 300 restraints is the average a month.
After how many kids?
140.
So each one would get restrained twice a month?
Yep. I'd go up to Shane and I'd say, hey, Shane, that's not your chair. I need you to move to your chair. And he doesn't move his chair. The response was, go hands off with Shane for compliance. We were fucking slamming kids all over the place. Oh, I'm sorry. We were lovely slamming them to the ground. So, what are some staff behaviors that might pose a risk to the facility?
I don't know, they brought up like talking to the media or whatever earlier.
Yeah. All right, so here's some news articles about some Utah facilities. So Utah Trouble Teen Facility sued by parents. This Utah Teen Treatment Center is being monitored and could be shut down. Any media contact you, no comment, just don't say anything, and then immediately report it to the CEO. Provo Canyon is heavy in the media, okay? Please do not respond to any media. We do predict in the next little bit that Provo Canyon media involvement will actually increase.
Why is that?
A little bit ago, we had a new hire and we did not catch in time. That was a private investigator. He wore Camlin glasses with like camera in it. It's corporate's hunch that he was hired by Paris Hilton. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. It is going to court. We do believe it's going to reach like federal high level.
Oh yeah, she was sent to one of these places, maybe this place specifically.
She's like, I think she speaks out about it really a lot.
Yeah, she does. I remember that, hearing about that now in retrospect. They think Paris Hilton, ha ha ha. Like,
yeah.
Why is that funny? If you abused her, then
yeah.
Anyway.
Court. And so the big president and CEO says I want to come down with the full force of the law. So.
Did you read my text?
No, what happened?
Paris Hilton sent an undercover fucking independent. Someone got caught with spyglasses.
Yeah, the last guy who tried exposing this place is now facing multiple felonies and a prison sentence. But me and Sheldon are already used to this. It's going to take more than a federal lawsuit to stop us.
Everybody take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. You do.
Yeah, to be a mental health instructor here, the training was a complete joke. I mean, pretty much the only thing Sheldon learned was that Paris Hilton is evil. Yeah, I guess this is the high school that Paris Hilton went to. Since graduating, she's pretty much made it her life mission to shut this place down.
Paris Hilton wants to shut down the Provo Canyon School.
Despite hypothermia and physical beatings from staff, there was no medical care.
It seems like the only thing they want their staff to know when working here is that Paris Hilton is a liar.
Paris Hilton, she came from the Canyon School.
I don't know if you folks have ever heard of a person called Paris Hilton.
Yeah, we talked about it yesterday. They told us.
I never did watch a special that she had on Netflix. I just never had the desire to. People would say, you should watch it. I said, yeah, I'm good. But even her own sister, Nikki, said, yeah, you
Yeah, now I want to watch it, right?
Yeah, really.
belong there. You needed to go to that school. I'll tell you.
How amazing is it that she's using her money and resources to expose this place? I think it's great.
Yeah, it's really great.
That Provo Canyon School actually did help her a little bit. Well, a lot. But she won't say that in front of everybody else because she did such a big uproar.
I got him calling Paris Hilton a liar, for trying 20 or 30 minutes straight.
It's not Errol. Paris Hilton made it sound. Okay.
So she's a liar. Well, I guess there actually is one more thing the school wanted their staff to know: how to restrain the kids.
It's just him going again, over 1,000 times today.
Again.
It's literally like brainwashing.
So now the training is complete. But before they can become mental health professionals, our government requires them to pass a state medical exam. The government does this because, it's pretty obvious. We just want our mental health instructors to know what they're doing. So Sheldon brought his secret cameras to record how Provo Canyon tests its mental health professionals.
You go through this, I cannot give you the answers to these, okay? But, I do like apples. I do like bananas. I like cantaloupes. I'm a dog person. So anyways, let's start from number one.
A 67-year-old man is found unresponsive, not breathing, and without a pulse.
Did somebody like cantaloupes in this stuff? I kind of like cantaloupes myself. I'm just saying, you don't have to listen to that. It's up to you.
Yeah, the instructor did this for the entire test.
First, the person giving chest compressions is not allowing for complete chest recoil.
You kind of like dogs? I love dogs. Yes, I do. I'm a French bulldog myself. Thank you. I'm just saying. I'm going to eat me an apple in just a little bit. I'm just saying that, okay?
I know I'm not going to out the company, but you have a really big job interview coming up. And how great would it be if they just gave you a multiple choice A, B, C, or D, and they gave you the answer every time?
They're not going to do that.
Yeah, it'd be great if they did.
No.
This is insane. This is what they have to do to pass. They're given the answers. Jeez.
Yeah, I know. This is crazy.
You ain't got to listen to me now. It's up to you folks. I'm just saying.
But anyways, even though Sheldon didn't learn anything, he passed his medical test.
Now I'm certified through the American Heart Society, even though we didn't even learn anything and everyone just spaced out and they gave us all the answers to the test.
But this is when Sheldon realized that they were catching on to him being a secret undercover agent.
He looked at the watch because I was recording and he goes, "What kind of watch is that?" But and then when I'm going to get the watch, the fucking key lights up and the room was dark, so it was super fucking dumbass obvious.
I don't know about y'all, but I feel a little bit uneasy with it because there's a certain thing that's been kind of watching all of us. And I don't know about y'all. This person, this thing just kind of hangs out. And I'm just okay, why is he hanging out like this? He just looks about and he's who are all these people here? Who they? I fucking started shaking. I've never had
like that much of a physical reaction to like any anxiety. My head was literally like twitching, dude. I'm like, this is crazy. And then he picks up a stuffed animal off the shelf and he's like, it's Curious George.
Anyways, I would like you all to meet my friend George. Yes, you'll be George, because George can fly anywhere. Just don't drop him, okay? Oh, whoa, George.
And I thought he was talking about me.
Was it scary?
Yeah, it was scary as hell. I've never been that afraid in my whole life as in that moment. He was talking about a goddamn stuffed animal, dude.
Anyways, Sheldon passed his entire week of training.
I'm now a unit staff.
And you know what that means. Sheldon is now officially a mental health technician at Provo Canyon School.
Yeah, my name's Sheldon. I'm swing shift A, a mental health technician.
Sheldon's gonna be the man for us.
Yeah.
So it's good that we have Sheldon on the inside as an undercover teacher, but at the end of the day, what we're really trying to find out is this place bad for the kids? And the only way to do that is to send in an undercover kid. And then I realized that, yeah, we definitely can't do that. That's super illegal and just like morally messed up. So instead of sending in an undercover kid, I'm going to be an undercover kid.
You cannot go in there, dude. You're going to go to, like, it's like 6 felonies.
Yes, there's a couple problems with me checking myself into this place, such as I just turned 30 years old and the oldest kids they accept here are 17. And Sheldon tried talking me out of the idea for 2 whole days.
Dude, do you think they're really going to believe you're 17, though, Ben? I mean, like, don't you think they're going to want, like, some kind of proof of you being 17?
Sheldon's right. If this place was ethically ran, they would require me at a minimum to provide my birth certificate before accepting me in here. So this is the test. Is Provo Canyon going to break the law and put a 30-year-old in as a student just because they're money hungry? Or are they going to follow the law and require that I show proof I'm 17 before accepting me in? I went to the Provo Canyon School website to sign myself up, and right away I saw that I actually can't sign myself up, or my parents has to do it for me. So I put an ad on Craigslist to see if anyone wanted to play the role as my dad for a super secret project. And no one responded. So not only am I going to have to be the kid, but I will also be playing the role of my own dad, and I just signed myself up. First, they wanted to know why I was signing my kid, aka myself, up for Provo Canyon.
If your kid has a sexual or gender identity disorders.
I said my 17-year-old son is having what he calls gay thoughts. Submit. I don't know. I just think it's pretty funny that they still accept people in for being gay when being gay stopped becoming a mental disorder in 1987. Also, conversion therapy is banned in Utah, so it would actually be super legal for them to accept me in because of this.
Hello, I would like to sign up my kid for Provo Canyon.
What is your kid kind of struggling with?
Recently, he's been having some homosexual thoughts. We heard that your school can help with that.
Perfect. And did anyone refer him specifically to residential treatment? Like, is he seeing a therapist or a psychiatrist or anything?
No.
I was just asking because in order to proceed to what we're going to need to do next is kind of review any of his clinical behavior. So if he hasn't been assessed before, that kind of stuff is going to need to happen.
They didn't need a birth certificate or anything?
Not yet, no. She just said I just need a note from a therapist.
And she said homosexual thoughts are a condition to get admitted into a fucking treatment? What are you getting treated for?
My homosexual thoughts.
What makes this whole situation even crazier is that literally right after this, I start watching through all the footage and I get to a part in Sheldon's training where they literally tell all of the staff that this is literally a gay-friendly environment.
This is the LGBTQIA plus community. This is gender equality. We're accepting and we're understanding of all gender issues. Right. We treat our kids that are trying to find their identity, figuring out their sexual orientation with respect.
Yeah, it seems like this place isn't against being gay at all.
I wonder why they accept me in for being gay then.
Because they want money.
It seems like they might just accept anyone into this place as long as they have a doctor or a therapist note.
The next step is just get that doctor's note and then call you guys back.
Yeah, I can explain what's kind of going on at home, any behaviors at home, those kind of things.
Dang,
That
dude.
sounds easy enough.
So I just have to go to a doctor and be like, hey, can you write a diagnosis that my kid has gay thoughts.
Yeah. So I Googled conversion therapist. And it turns out there's not many in existence anymore in the United States. But I started calling the few that still do exist. And then I realized that I can't just play my dad and the child at the same time, or else they're definitely going to recognize that it's just the same person playing both roles. And the Craigslist ad to play the role of my dad is still empty. So I got Jordan, the fan that originally told me about this idea, to play the role of my dad.
Hello, this is Dr. Fry. Hey, my name's Ron, and I have a son that needs to get into some therapy.
But every single time, even the conversion therapist felt bad to send me to this school.
A place called Provo Canyon.
Oh, wait a minute. No, I don't. I'm in the business of helping people make changes.
The fact that no therapist wants to send me to Provo Canyon School actually makes this place seem more credible to me. It seems like to get sent here, you must have to be a really bad kid. But then Sheldon got done with his first day of work, and when he got home, he told me why a lot of the kids got sent to this school.
All the other kids are just normal. Like one of them's in there for 120 days so far because he used to smoke fucking weed.
That was.
I'm going to stop this right there. And then 1931, I'll timestamp it so that we can pick up in the same spot.
Sounds good.
But
That's crazy.
So there's a kid that I met, and I say kid because he was a teenager and I was an adult. And I met him at a train station. And he asked me if I had any cigarettes. And I said no. And then I asked him, are you waiting? He looked like he could maybe be a young adult, but I said, are you waiting for another train? And he said, no, my parents were going to send me to a school because they caught me smoking weed. He was from Connecticut. His parents were really wealthy. And they had a layover at the airport in the city I was in. And he had enough cash to get him to the train station.
Oh, wow.
So he had a little bit of money left. He was going to buy a ticket somewhere. And I said, well, do you know anyone there? And he's like, no. So I let him come home with me, which now I probably would have been arrested.
Yeah.
And I gave him some food and I gave him a room to sleep in. And then I said, listen, you have to let me contact your parents because I can get in a lot of trouble, and just let them know what happened. And I'll try to talk to them and see if maybe they can figure something else out, because all he did was smoke weed once. They were really religious. And, I talked to his mom and she said that, they weren't going to send him there, and great. I took the kid to the airport. His dad flew home and then flew back in to meet him, did a handoff. Great. And then a week later, they sent him to the program.
Oh, they did it anyway.
They did it anyway. And whenever he got out, he contacted me. And I was like, look, I feel really bad about that, but there's nothing I could have done. I can't kidnap you without going to prison, even if I wanted to, because I think what you're doing was wrong.
Right.
So I kind of have a loose experience with these crazy schools without, directly.
Yeah.
A nice kid. I always kind of wonder every once in a while, what happened to him, because he's really, really smart. I bet he turned out to be a great adult. I really do.
Probably. Yeah, maybe.
I have some funny videos we can watch real quick. Well, not funny. Most of them end up being nature videos. But this one, oh my God, this ties back to something we talked about earlier, kind of.
What does it tie back to?
You'll as soon as you see this, you'll know. As soon as you see it. I can't believe there's an airline with this name. I mean, the spelling's different, sure, but
let's see it. Oh,
right.
Oh, that's gotta mean something in another language.
It's loud. We're gonna listen to it without sound.
Yeah. taken off. These people don't wear shirts in this country. Where is this?
Oh, I don't know. Look up Insel Air and you'll find out. They really need to change that name. Are you looking it up?
Yeah. It's Dutch.
Okay. Those people don't look Dutch. Oh, if it's Dutch, they might be in like St. Martin.
Those people look Dutch.
Yeah, so they could be in like St. Martin. Because
this is a ridiculous idea. Like stand behind the plane while the jet engines go off.
Look, there's a beach. They're definitely in St. Martin or something.
This is crazy.
They're not Dutch. It doesn't look anything like a Dutch place unless it's tropical. Why are they doing this?
That's what I just said. This is crazy.
Wow. I wouldn't want to breathe. I wouldn't want to breathe that in.
Oh, it's jet fuel, probably.
Yeah, so there's that.
Okay.
Don't worry, these are all really short. This one's called Being Really Bad at Your Job, Pool Edition.
Oh. Taking pictures of me while I'm working?
No, I'm not mean you. You're very good at your job.
This is funny the way you said it. All
Are you
right.
ready?
Yeah. Music.
Nothing beats a Jet2 holiday. Right now.
Hold on, I'm gonna mute that.
Mute the Jet2 holiday stuff. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I think I saw this.
I'll wait till you see. I know it's been everywhere. Look, no hesitation. He just threw her ass in the pool.
Oh, good. Good.
You're on fire. You're going in the pool.
No, I saw a different video where a woman caught on fire and her whole dress went up and
Ew.
she just ran from the beach. It was bad.
Oh my gosh, this one's amazing. This one's called Wet Wedding. Do you like that name?
I do. Yeah.
Wet Wedding.
Wet Wedding. Sounds like a Billy Idol song.
It's a good time for a wet wedding.
Wedding. Yeah, exactly.
I love it.
Aw. Oh no. Whoa. That almost looks fake.
Yeah, it looked fake to me too. Like, I think we should vote on these sometimes. Like, is it AI?
I don't think that was AI, but that looks staged.
It kind of did with the fumbling was a little bit too cartoonish in the very beginning when they dropped the ring.
And the fact that he slid in a way that was so conveniently like a path, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like not.
Well, he happened to be standing there.
But I'm just saying, like, he didn't fall tragically over the rocks, like, you know what I mean? Like, tumble over the rocks in a way that was like harmful.
All right, this one I'm titling No Shortcuts.
Oh, okay. There's no shortcuts in life.
Well, there's no. Well, it's actually called Fuck Around and Find Out, but
Whoa. Waiting for it to load. Loading delay. Oh, here it comes. What is going on? There's a motorcycle parked there.
oh wait, you didn't see the beginning.
Yeah.
All right, here you go.
Ooh! That's why you're not supposed to do that. Oh, he's gone.
Yeah. That's why you don't do that.
He was like later.
Have you seen any footage of this flooding in Hawaii?
No.
So I'm going to show you a reference picture first. So I'm going to show you Rainbow Falls, which I have some incredible photos of that I took from a helicopter.
Okay. A whirly bird.
But they're not impressive waterfalls. They're just little. So here is the post with the comparison. Make sure there's no sound. So can you see that?
Yeah.
So you see the before and after?
Oh, wait. Oh, I was just looking at the top.
Yeah, that's what it usually looks like. That's what it looked like when I
Holy
saw it.
shnikes.
Right.
That's a lot of water.
So I have some footage that's crazy that we can watch.
Let's see it.
Now that you know like what it normally looks like.
Yeah.
Tell me when it's up.
It's up. Whoa. Holy moly. That's a problem.
Yeah, that's scary, right?
Yeah.
That little trickling river is.
Holy moly. That is crazy. It's
yeah.
really raging too.
I almost called it Raging Rapids.
It's rapid, all right.
I wouldn't be driving on that bridge.
No, get off of that bridge. What are you doing?
I just figured the supports would,
Snap.
lose some of their structural integrity.
I agree.
There's the Rainbow Falls.
Crazy.
Looks more like Niagara Falls.
Yeah, it looks crazy. Holy moly.
Yeah, that drone footage is incredible.
That's something else. Nature is pretty scary sometimes.
I know this is like mesmerizing to watch.
It's so destructive, though. Cleaning everything up. Unbelievable.
Yeah, very cool. It's almost over.
What caused this?
Rain.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay. That's scary. I mean, is it going to happen every time it rains now?
No, it was just, a lot of rain all at once.
But what if that becomes the norm every year?
Who knows? Sure. I mean, I really don't know. And then here's more. This is like washed out roads. So you can kind of see it wasn't just like the river that flooded.
Yeah. Oof. That's no fun.
Yeah, there's a new river.
Oh, no. Finds a way.
You can see the road.
Yeah.
The river's just taking it over.
Yeah.
Deposited a bunch of uprooted trees.
Yep. That's nuts.
Yeah, this is really nuts. So there's that. What's next?
Crazy.
Oh, this video I keep seeing everywhere, and you've probably seen it. So I apologize if you have, and we don't have to watch it if you've seen it. But this lady on the bicycle, did you see her getting sucked into an undertow?
No. Let's see it. Is she in Hawaii? Is that where this is during the flood?
No. I don't know where she is.
So here's the water in the wash. You can see it's kind of deep. There, so easy to get yourself in a little bit of trouble if you don't know what to cross.
Whoa.
She's being sucked down into the thing. Yeah, she's in the hole.
That's crazy.
Good thing that lady has her juicy couture pants on.
We just lost another girl.
Oh my goodness.
That girl's downstream. It's the one who got sucked through.
Oh no. Oh my God. There's no resolution to that.
They left you hanging.
I know, it's terrible.
All right. This one,
Think she makes it out?
I don't think we have to discuss if this one's AI, but
Okay.
I would do it without sound, but I don't think we need it. This one's called Club Crab.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're going to want to go here so bad.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I shared the wrong screen. Can you see it?
Yeah. Oh boy. Here we go. Hey, what's up?
I like the voices.
Hey guys. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's Club Crab.
It's a good time.
Yeah, I figured you'd enjoy a good Club Crab and you'd want to go.
I do. I want to go to Club Crab.
So I found a pool that has a really nice view.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and I'd love to share it with you.
Let's see it.
I don't think I want to visit, but you see that nice pool?
Yeah.
That nice city view?
Whoa, yeah.
Why are you saying whoa? Is it the heights?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm scared of heights too. But you're about to get more scared.
I feel like I think I know what's gonna happen.
Uh-oh.
No. Was it earthquake?
Yep.
Oh, get out of that pool, dude. Oh, they're out. Thank goodness they're out.
Oh yeah, everybody's okay.
That's not fun.
No. It's terrifying, isn't it?
Yeah. That's nuts.
I wouldn't want to be up that high if there was an earthquake. Like I'd be afraid.
No, nobody does. It's a worst case scenario to be up that
All
high.
the weight of that water.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm surprised it wasn't more tragic. Like
Yeah,
the
no,
undertow-
I don't want to show you anything too tragic. Oh, there's suitcases going in the pool.
Oh no. Oops.
I mean, at that point, you don't care. Oh,
Yeah,
it looks
no.
so it's calmed down. It's just really dirty now.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, I got the Northern Lights.
Okay.
Now, I've seen the Northern Lights several times. And whenever it's not like it is whenever you watch TV or like see videos of it.
Yeah.
Because those are usually sped up. They don't
Right.
they don't dance like crazy,
Right.
it's
Right.
it's a slow movement.
Right.
And I've never seen pink ones. They're always green. So these are green. So they look, kind of real and normal to me. But this is what you expect. This is in Alaska when you see the Northern Lights. And I believe this is in Alaska, a view from a guy's cabin.
Okay. It's all green. Whoa.
You see how they're moving slowly and just dancing a little bit? That's what they look like.
That looks crazy.
It looks kind of like a jet stream that dances when I've seen them. And they're really wispy. It looks just like this, but not the way that I've seen it. And they're, like I said, it's always green when I see them.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't imagine walking outside and just seeing that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously his camera is enhanced, which you can do. Actually, when I would go out to see the Northern Lights, the way that they would detect if they're coming, because you go when it starts to get kind of dark, is they'll have a video camera and they'll do something with the color on it so that they can see the Northern Lights. And I remember whenever you and I tried to see them when they were down pretty far south, and we saw them like that. I had my camera out, but my camera memory card was messed up.
I remember.
Yeah. So I have one called Elevator Fun.
Oh boy. Love a good elevator video.
I'm scared of elevators.
Yeah.
Now that I've been trapped in one, I always think I'm going to get trapped in the elevator and be stuck in there for God knows how long, and it's hot and yeah. Anyway, Elevator Fun.
Okay.
Oh my god!
Jamie.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Baby.
Yo, what the fuck, bro? I'm in a fucking elevator, bro. The fuck, son? What the
I'm going to turn off this sexy saxophone.
Ooh.
There's a lot of saxophone. It's at -1.
-1.
I wouldn't get in that thing.
No. That's not good. Whoa! I'm not getting there. Elevator drops. Oof. Yeah, that's a problem.
That was me. They had to call the fire department.
Yeah.
To get me out.
Did they take you through the top like that?
Oh, when you get stuck in an elevator with the firefighters who are supposed to get you unstuck. Ugh. Nope.
No. Not interested.
I don't need to see what's going on. Don't put your baby in there. Don't do it. Does she have a fan on her baby? Oh, yeah, because
Yeah.
it's hot in there. Good thing she had one.
Ooh.
I didn't get that one.
What?
Yeah, that's fake.
These people are having too much fun.
I'd want to be stuck in an elevator with someone if I was going to get stuck, because being in one I was alone when I was stuck in one. It was awful.
Yeah, it can be pretty terrifying, I can imagine.
Well, you don't have to imagine. I talk about it all the time. There is a landslide I saw a video of in Norway. That's nuts. And this is
Okay.
the last video I have.
Okay.
You ready?
I'm ready. Whoa. Whoa. Later. It's being reclaimed.
Yeah, pretty crazy, right?
That was nuts.
Well, that's all I have. We'll watch on Wednesday the rest of the Reckless Ben. We'll start it at 19 minutes, and
Sounds good.
we'll watch the rest of it and talk about some other stuff. I'll probably talk about Lindsay Clancy a little bit, and
Yeah, maybe we'll have some more Eugene Horsch news.
I know that I have a feeling that one might get a little bit crazy. So,
Oh yeah, there's definitely some weird stuff going on with that one.
well, it's been a good time. Why don't you see us out?